Hey guys, welcome back to Your Lake Fork Guide, another episode of the Guides Network. Hey, it's spring. It's hot today. The water's warming up, getting up into the 70s as of today. You know, that signifies a lot of things. There's a lot of different patterns that start coming into play when that water gets over that 70-degree mark. Arguably, my very favorite one is a special swim bait that catches a lot of big fish for me each year. Today, we're going to talk about fishing weedless hollow bellies. So a hollow belly swim bait's been around for a long time. Yum Money Minnow is one of the more popular ones. Smashtech makes one. They're not known for being fished weedless though. Not a lot of people throw them weedless. A lot of people throw them on jig heads out in deeper water. The weedless baits traditionally would tear up really bad, especially in the head. And you just would burn through a lot of baits. It just wasn't a very efficient bait up shallow. Well, that's all kind of changed thanks to Smashtech. Smashtech makes a hollow belly. It's got a little bit denser head on it, a little bit more weight, a little more thickness and density to the plastic in the head. A, holds the screw lock a lot better. B, the body wiggle on this bait is absolutely unbelievable. The entire body shakes. You can literally feel the bait vibrating on the big one especially. You can feel the bait vibrating as you're reeling it in. It's an unbelievable action. The whole body shakes. The whole body has almost a snake action to it while the tail's going crazy behind it. It's a fast action bait, so always wait till the water gets a little warmer before I start throwing it because the whole bait's moving real fast. And I feel like, and from what I've seen, I have better success once the water's warmer. But a great bait. Like I said, you can throw these on a jig head out deep. They work really good in the summertime out deep. But one thing that I love to do is once we get a little bit warmer water and them fish start, you know, some are still spawning, but we start getting that first session of post-spawn fish really stacking up. Rig that sucker weedless, and I've caught some absolute monster bass on it. You know, the first one and kind of the mainstay is the 4.5-inch hollow belly. This is light hitch right here. The color is light hitch. That's my favorite color. Really, the only other color I throw a lot of is going to be called Pearl Flash, and that's just a white body with a gray back. I'll throw that when the water's dirtier or I have a super dark cloudy day. Sometimes I'll go to that Pearl Flash. We're going to rig the 4.5-inch hollow belly up on a 5/0. Most of the time, owner flashy swimmer. You can throw it on just a 5/0 belly weighted hook without the blade on it. But on this little one, I seem to have better success throwing it on the flashy swimmer. So most of the time, that's the way that I rig it up. Now on this 4.5-inch bait, which my buddy Steven right behind me is currently throwing, I'm throwing that on a 6-inch Lux series rod, the 7.5 heavy with the moderate tip. That rod, guys, is the absolute best small swim bait rod I've ever thrown. It's just built perfect for small swim baits. I really, really love it. 7.5 heavy with a moderate action tip. We're going to throw that on 20-pound line, and my reel of choice is going to be the Lew's Tournament MB 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. That's the reel that I'm throwing it on. All right, now let's cover the setup for the big one. This is the big 6-inch hollow belly, and it's only a 6-inch swim bait, but it has so much wiggle and so much action. It moves a lot of water. It draws a really big bite. In fact, most of you have seen this fish catch a million times, but in case you forgot, there was a really special fish caught on this exact setup we're fixing to go over last year. So let's review that one more time.
Yeah. He's got him. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it your broad bait. Look at this, that's a 10-pounder, dude. Oh my god. That's a 10-pounder, bro. Oh my gosh. Keep your hand on the reel, keep your hand on the reel. That might be bigger than a 10. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Woo! Holy shit. Oh my god, look at this. Like a 12-pounder. Dude, look at this fish. Yeah. Give me, come here, man.
12 pounds, 2 ounces.
Oh my god, let me get in there. Holy cow.
There you go.
Right there. Smile.
Mr. Brody with a 12-pound, 2-ounce monster. Let's let her go, buddy. Ease her back in there. Just hold it still and she'll kick. Just hold her still. She trying to just hold her dead still.
PB over 8 pounds. My PB was
all right, she's
4
ready.
pounds.
She's kicking you.
Bye bye, girl.
Holy. Holy.
What about that, brother? My man. Hey, what about them Smashtech swim baits? Dad, are you gonna buy any Smashtech baits this week?
We're gonna get some Smashtech swim baits. Brody, come here, man. Holy cow, that is what it's all about. Yes. Mwah. Love you.
Yes, folks. A 13-year-old boy caught a 12-pound, 2-ounce bass on this bait right here, rigged on an 8/0 weedless owner beast hook. Comes in. Actually, here's one rigged up right here. There's one I've been using today, 8/0 owner beast. That's how I throw it most of the time. If you really want to, you can throw the flashy swimmer on that as well with the blade underneath the belly weight. This is my big swim bait setup right here. This is my 8-foot heavy rod. I've got my Lew's Super Duty LFS. This thing holds an absolute ton of line, and for big swim baits, you can throw them a mile, but you don't have to have one of them big old honking ridiculous reels that those guys throw big baits on. This thing's built tough, yet it's light, it's low profile, it feels really comfortable in your hands. A little bit heavier than most of your smaller reels because it is a heavy duty type reel. It's the Lew's Super Duty LFS. I don't know why anybody throws a big swim bait on any reel besides this one right here. To me, it's the best for the job, hands down, because of the profile, because of the comfort in your hands, but still performing, throwing the bait a long ways, holding just a ridiculous amount of line. You cannot cast a bait far enough to run this thing low on line, and that's with 20-pound fluorocarbon. So, Lew's Super Duty LFS, I highly recommend if you're going to throw bigger swim baits. That is the setup that I choose to throw the 6-inch big hollow belly from Smashtech Custom Baits on. As you can see right here, we're kind of out in the middle of a big spawning area. That's exactly where I love to throw this hollow belly the most this time of year in the springtime when the water first starts getting over 70. As those fish, as the late spawners make their way in, as the early spawners make their way out, and even on a day-to-day basis, as those bigger females suck off that bed, they will gather out here on the edges of cover. We've got scattered lily pads and grass out here. On Lake Fork, a lot of times it's scattered grass out in the middle. I always look, if I can find a place where a spawning pocket kind of pitches down, a funneling point, to me that's the world's best scenario for this pattern. This one doesn't really pinch down, but we've been getting bites out here, out just the slap middle of it, because all those fish have to come in and go out through somewhere, and they're gonna go right down the drain in the middle of this bay here. Now, primarily, I am throwing the big one because in this deal, guys, I'm willing to sacrifice fewer bites to get those big bites. This is a time to swing for the fences. This is a bait that will catch a giant bass, as we saw earlier from last year. It's absolutely the right time of year to take a chance. Maybe not get bites, maybe not get a lot of bites, but when you do, boy, will it count. You know, last year it was somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks where every morning I was throwing the big hollow belly, and we would usually get 2, sometimes 3 bites a day on it. Out of those 2 to 3 weeks worth of mornings, I only caught 1 fish under 7 pounds on this bait right here, and it was 5 pounds. You see what I'm saying? Like, this thing will catch a big fish. So with that big one, you're gonna kind of throw it up in the air, let it fly, kind of loft it out there. It just now landed. So as you guys can see, that thing will take off and fly on you. Now, big deal is I want to point right down, straight down my line. I don't want my rod down. I don't want my rod up. I don't want it to the side. Any angle that you have is going to allow that rod to act like a shock absorber and allow that bait to load up on grass or pad stems or whatever cover you're coming through. But if you'll point straight down the line and create direct tension on that bait with no shock absorption from your rod, that bait will bulldog through just about anything. It may tighten up, it may load up a little bit, but if you just keep pointing at it and reeling, it will usually wiggle through everything. And this area right here is slap full of lily pad stems and grass. As you can see, we're just easing right on through there. Nice little slow to medium retrieve, just keeping that bait wiggling. Now when they bite this bait, especially the big ones, a lot of times they're gonna knock a lot of slack in it. So you're reeling along, they hit it, they knock that slack, just keep on reeling. As soon as you start to feel a little bit of weight, I mean, get that rod up to your right shoulder, step back, turn, hit them with everything you got. That 8/0 hook is a big old hook. You can make super long casts with this bait, so a lot of times that bait's a long ways from you, got a lot of line out. So it takes a lot of torque to drive that big 8/0 hook through the bone in their head from that distance. Well, it's a pretty simple technique, guys. You throw it out there, you point at it, you reel it in. When they bite it, let it load, and then swing the hammer as hard as you can. And that's kind of all there is to it. But there's definitely something special to that Smashtech hollow belly. It is hands down a different animal than the other hollow bellies on the market. And it's proven to catch these giant bass time after time again, year after year at this point. So get over to smashtechbaits.com, linked in the description as always. Check out the big hollow belly and the little hollow belly. I refer to them as little holly and big holly. So place your order. Light hitch, my favorite color, pearl flash. Find the color that best matches the water that you're fishing. I promise you won't be disappointed in these baits. Also, if you're looking for a swim bait reel, go check out the Lew's Super Duty LFS. My personal favorite big swim bait reel that I've ever owned. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. We really appreciate everything that you guys do to help support and help us grow and kind of keep this train rolling, trying to build this fish community. We're all about loving our fellow man, helping each other catch more fish. Can't say thank you guys enough. We'll see you next time right here on your Lake Fork Guy.